Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about some of the Aero updates that the Honda Motogp team brought to the British Grand Prix and also to the Austrian Grand Prix. Now, at the British Grand Prix, Taka Nakagami rolled out of the garage with two very different looking Hondas. He was using Calac chassis on both bikes, but with different Aero. And here on the left, you will see the new Aero, and on the right you will see the old Aero. But when we got to the Austrian Grand Prix, you will see both Repsol Honda riders were also now running the new Aero. And as you can see in this picture, the new Aero for me looks very like the front of the KTM, and here we have them side by side. Although there is very slight differences in the Aero, the overall design of the elements is very, very similar. The top element to the bottom element, you can see where they're trying to generate the downforce for the front of the bike. Now, what I do find very interesting when you're looking at the front downforce of the bike and also how the wings are looking compared to the old wings, the next thing that I noticed really was the side wings that the bike is using. And again, these are kind of like a hybrid, in my opinion, of the Ducati and the KTM version. However, the way they attach to the wing or to the side of the bike is slightly different. It's more sort of angled rather than straight up and down like the Ducati and the KTM. However, there is also a lot more going on in the Honda that meets the eye. They've also got rid of the downwash tube that is there that on the old version, where it was taking the air and dropping it down. They've kind of gone more so the Aprilia Pramac Ducati spec with the side pod to kind of create the downforce on the side. And I do think that's quite interesting. You can see where it says Honda down the bottom here. There is a big hole for the air to escape. That is definitely getting rid of heat, in my opinion. So it will be definitely interesting to see how will that affect, I suppose, sucking the bike down to the ground. You will also see here by Mir's foot that they are also running a new and upgraded flap underneath the swing arm. What it is doing, I don't know. Is it to keep the rear tire cool? Now, I don't know. Genuinely don't know on this one, but Mir wasn't running it previously and he is now running it, so it's a full upgrade onto that swing arm. I do know Mark was running this for quite a while, I think even since Portugal, but this is definitely a different version than what he was running. You will also notice where at the bottom where the front of the Red Bull is, there is a little bit more aero going in here to try and deflect where the air is to go down the side pod. So I definitely think they're really starting to work the fine details. So they're definitely working with some aerodynamic team. But again, you know, this bike was never designed for aero first day, so a lot of this stuff is going to be bolt on and after the fact rather than a whole encompass process designing the bike. And Marquez said, you know, while you can brake later, you can go deeper, the braking points have moved with the new Aero, etc., it doesn't really solve the problems that they have. They're lacking acceleration, you know, they're spinning coming out of the corners. So a lot of the fundamental problems still remain there with the Honda, but again, for me, it looks like it is a step in the right direction, that they're starting to understand the aero of the bikes. Like, this is not the first time that Honda have run aerodynamics like this. They did this a number of times in previous seasons. I think even all the way back to 2021, I think, in Le Sol, Marquez has run a number of different versions. So I do find it very interesting that they're now starting to go and start to test. Also, the way Marquez is now approaching his riding definitely gives me an understanding that he's not going balls to the wall anymore. He's done with that, and I think he's testing from here on out to try and get an understanding of what is going to happen. But fundamentally, you know, the Aero, while it is a positive step, It's not the silver bullet that they needed. They need to get work on their acceleration, according to Marquez, and also a way to get rear grip and to stop the bike spinning coming out of the corners. But I'd definitely love to know your thoughts. What exactly do you think of the Aero devices from Honda? Do you think it is just a copy, or do you think that it is slight differences from the other manufacturers? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.